Welcome to Insure Smart with Tapan Singhel. In this episode, we'll be talking about cyber insurance. As you know, more and more people are becoming victims of cyber frauds as our interactions and transactions have moved online. In this episode, we'll talk to Tapan Singhel, MD and CEO of Bajaj Allianz General Insurance, who'll tell us about the nuances of cyber insurance and whether it has become a must-have cover. Welcome, Mr. Singhel. Cyber frauds have, in fact, become a nuisance these days, but this policy is not as popular as others. So, why do you think it is important for people to take this cover?
Um, I remember when I started working, the biggest worry that I had on financial loss was on the first of the month when I had to take my salary home. And I used to travel by public transport. And we used to carry cash, and it was like full salary. And pickpocketing was rampant. I do not know if any insurance company would have provided cover for me to cover pickpocketing. I would have definitely bought it, and I'm sure most of us at that era would have bought it. Today, it's different. You don't have to carry cash today. Your cash is on your phone, no? It's cyber. It's on your laptop. You just have to do transaction. You just to go, swipe your card or use the UPI to pay. So today also the pickpocketing in a way happens through phishing, through malwares, then cyber extortion happens, and the cover is there. I think the issue again would be of people being aware about it, because I'd be surprised why people would not be buying. In fact, when we were the first company to launch retail cyber cover in India, and my first two policies were purchased by my daughters. The policy number 1 and policy number 2 were purchased by my daughters. It also covers if somebody is stalking you, and you have to file a police complaint or take a legal action. It covers that also. So whatever you hear about in terms of phishing, malware, cyber extortion, stalking, it is a very comprehensive cover, and I would strongly recommend that people should actually evaluate it.
So, exactly what all does it cover, the cyber insurance
So
policy?
let's whatever you read in the newspaper. Let's say you read about phishing. Phishing is the way it goes, and now again it's very rampant. Somebody would send on your phone some link, something. You click on that, and then you become a victim to that. Then you give details, and they enter your account, and they take your money out. That would be covered. There'll be malware. Somebody would lock in your system, or there'll be cyber extortion which would be happening, or somebody is stalking you, or your identity theft, like or let's say you have a liability. Somebody posts something, using your identity, they hack into your account, and that creates a liability. So I think it is a very comprehensive cover. I would strongly recommend that people should have a look at it. And I always say insurance is not expensive. It's very, very reasonably priced at all points of time. So if you look at it compared to the cost and the risk that you carry, you should be having that. And as I mentioned, that if when I was traveling and I was young and pickpocketing would have been a cover insurance company, I would definitely bought it. It was a huge issue for me. Today, I think cyber crimes have become very rampant. I think I'll be surprised if I hear pickpocketing nowadays. Have you heard about pickpocketing now?
Now, hardly, yeah, in
I don't think
crowded
I've-
areas, people would see that if you
Maybe
go
I
to
don't
Old
know.
Delhi or whatever.
I've never even heard about it now. I don't even read the newspapers now. So it's all become like the cyber pickpocketing.
Absolutely.
That is how one has to see that.
Yeah. So, how does one kind of decide the sum insured or sum assured that this policy offers? Because there is no end to the kind of frauds that are happening.
Yeah. So these are the way. Let's say the way I look at it is, from my perspective is, um, if I look at the transaction that can happen, and I have an account separately for the UPI accounts, and what is the amount of money that is there, what is the probable maximum loss, as we call, in my view, that can happen to me in such case, I'll try to look for a sum insured close to that. And then what is the cost for that sum insured? So then you have to balance the two thinking. First thing is do a calculation that as well, let's say if somebody wants to take money from my account, how much money can I lose? Or let's say if I have to report for a stalking, how much I have to pay for a lawyer, or no, how much will that be, or if I have an identity theft, legal liability, what is the amount of compensation that I'll have to provide. So I try to do an assessment of that, and then see the cost of that sum insured, and then try to balance, okay, this is where I feel I should be insured, and I take that policy. That's the way you have to question yourself in terms of, what the risk that you see.
So it's like adding up all your fixed deposits, perhaps your credit card limit.
Yeah, so the way probable maximum loss, let me again explain, is actually very interesting the way it operates. Let's say you have a factory, and the factory is worth 10,000 crores. So typically somebody would say, okay, let's insure 10,000 crore. Now the factory has a plant here, unit here, a plant here, a plant here. Now they are spread far. So is there any chance that all of it will go off together? Then maybe you'll see two are close by, they can go off together. So your probable maximum loss is these two units, not the full factory. So your entire FD will not be the probable maximum loss. I think the account in which you operate your UPIs, or where the password sharing happens, where the phishing or the malware targeting will happen, that amount of money that you have kept there is the maximum loss that can happen for that particular incident. I think that is how, when you evaluate a risk, you just think very simply, the totality is about what are the probable maximum. That's why we use the word probable maximum loss that can happen. When you put that together, you talk to any friend or somebody, they can it's fun doing this analysis. Then you actually realize, okay, this is what my risk is, and maybe you can mitigate the risk in your own way by lessening the amount you have in the account which is linked to the UPI, and how do you do that?
So do you think the demand will really increase as awareness goes up for cyber insurance?
Yes, it will, and we have seen that. See, I think the inflection point for insurance is very interesting. As the per person income moves up, the inflection point of insurance penetration starts happening. See, it's like this. When you're worried about roti kapda makan, then you're not worried about insurance. You're worried about survival. As you move up the ladder, and you have asset creation, and you have surplus money, and that is where insurance starts coming into play from your recall perspective, which should be there. So as our country keeps on moving up, this will happen. Now cyber again, today when I was young, I hardly had any money to lose. So if somebody told me buy cyber insurance, I would think कि क्या ले जाएगा वो लोग, है ही क्या कि जाएगा. But today when youngsters, I see they have a substantial amount of money, and it's a big risk for them. So this will increase, like you said, the penetration would move up, and the economic growth of a country will have a direct impact in the way the insurance industry starts moving, and products like this have greater acceptability and greater penetration.
Right. So would you also recommend it for senior citizens? Because a lot of time they sit on huge corpuses post-retirement.
I would strongly recommend for them. My father lost some money in a phishing attack.
Okay.
Because one, they are savvy, they love tech. So it's a myth that senior citizens don't love tech. I always say my younger daughter and my father use e-commerce more than I do. I think I have to refer to them to understand more. So I think they understand and they use it very well. I would strongly recommend that they should have a very good cover.
So would you say that it's kind of a must-have cover?
Yeah, in my view, yes, it is a must-have cover. I think that's the best way to put it.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Singhel, for that information on cyber insurance. And that was a very comprehensive conversation on what is cyber insurance, how it can benefit you, and why it's a must-have in today's scenario. Thank you so much.